With more than 2 million downloads, this is your number one source for true crime coverage in America. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
An 11-year-old has confessed to killing former Louisiana mayor and his daughter. 11-year-old boy confessed to the fatal shootings of former Louisiana Mayor Joe Cornelius Sr., who was 82 at the time, and his adult daughter, Keisha Miles, who was 31. A police official announced on Monday the tragic incident took place in Minden, a small city east of Shreveport, where Cornelius had been a well-known figure. On Sunday mornings, officers were dispatched to Cornelius' home after receiving reports of a disturbance. Police Chief Jared McIver said that both Cornelius and Miles were found dead with multiple gunshot wounds. The two handguns were used and their magazines were empty. McIver reported highlighting the severity of the attack. A 6-year-old child was also present at the scene but was not injured. The young boy, who's a relative of Cornelius, initially gave a different account of the events but later confessed to the shootings on Sunday afternoon. We were called to the scene at 6:30 a.m. and by noon the child had confessed, McIver explained. His grandmother, who is Miles' mother, was with him at the time of the confession. While the police have not disclosed a possible motive, they have noted that the boy's age restricts the information they can release about this relationship to the victims. McIver did confirm that the boy is being held on 2 counts of first-degree murder. It remains unclear whether the child has a lawyer to speak on his behalf, McIver added. Initially, the child was reported to be 10. Further investigations through the school system confirmed he is 11. That detail was clarified by Chief McIver in an interview on Tuesday. When asked how the child accessed the firearms, McIver stated, "We can't divulge that just yet," suggesting that the investigation is ongoing. McIver noted the boy's demeanor during the police interview, stating, "What I would say would be remorseful, sadness, sorrowful, apology, crying. None of those things happened."
Oh.
He also acknowledged that people grieve and express emotions differently, but the absence of typical signs of remorse was notable. Joe Cornelius Sr. was a respected community activist, a city council member, and a deputy ward marshal for the Webster Parish Sheriff's Office. His dedication to Minden was widely recognized, especially during his tenure as interim mayor in 2013 following the death of the incumbent mayor. Cornelius was known for his commitment to the community's well-being and efforts to improve local governance. In response to the tragic news, Minden Mayor Nick Cox released a statement expressing his grief and honoring Cornelius' memory, saying, quote, "Joe Cornelius' years of service to Minden were marked by his commitment to dedication and the betterment of our community," Cox said. He also extended his condolences to the families affected and encouraged the community to come together and support. "Let us come together as a community to honor Joe's memory and support one another through this time of grief." How bizarre. An 11-year, I mean, what the fuck was going on here? Is this just kind of, psychopath and we're seeing it very early? Was there some reason he felt that he needed to empty 2 clips into 2 different people?
So 11 years old, Tony, you've got a daughter. How old is she?
12 now. So this kid's younger.
And what grade is 12?
It depends, 6th or 7th, right around there.
Okay. So I'm wondering when this happened, it happened yesterday, Sunday?
Whatever it said, I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, I think Sunday. So in a lot of parts of the country, school is starting. Was this something about, going back to school? Was what in the hell could make an 11-year-old decide to take somebody's life? And do they understand that they're taking somebody's life? Or is it, I'm just playing with a gun?
Yeah. I mean, those are all very valid questions.
Frightening.
I mean, it's not like he stopped shooting. That's the thing. It's not like one bullet went off and he's like, "Oh shit, it's real." No, I mean, he emptied a clip.
Yeah. That takes some awareness, because it doesn't just automatically happen.
No. And at 11 years old, I wonder what he was shooting with. But I mean, there's some kickback on that shit. At an 11, I wonder if he had experience shooting a gun. I mean, that's another. I mean, the fact that there's a lot of questions.
Well, and I hate to be this person, and I know that you're a video game advocate, right? If I remember right.
What about him?
Well, I question, is this somebody who played a ton of video games and did have some awareness? Granted, it's different when you're holding a gun. And I'm a gun owner. So, anybody listening going, oh, she hates guns. No, I don't. I have concealed carry permit.
I feel like,
but I also wonder if we make things so familiar to kids. I mean, I remember growing up, once in a while, my dad took his rifle out of the gun safe, and it was scary to look at because it was almost revered. Like it never came out of the cabinet. And I, for sure as shit, would never touch it.
Yeah.
Well, now times are different.
And
I feel like this stuff is accessible to them, not in every household, but probably more than they ever used to be.
Well, and you're dealing with developing minds here too. And I'm not saying like video games should be banned or you have to, but I mean, people are going to get their hands on what they're going to get their hands on, especially everything being digital now. There's even less control for a store to say, we're not going to sell you X game. Now you can just download it. And, you can put parental controls on things, but most parents do not. So it's what we're saying is acceptable. And it's not, you have all of these, shooting games, and most people who play them don't go and shoot anybody up. It's mental illness that's going to cause someone to go do that. But you're not helping the mental illness when you allow your child, if they may have some disturbances going on, to play those games and do those things. Now, one can make the argument, well, they're letting it out on the screen. Maybe that's better. I don't know the answer to that. But then you also have the ways with VR now where you're not just staring at a screen. And it's very much you're in the situation. And if your mind is developing and your mind doesn't know the difference between VR and reality, you can certainly tell it while you're playing the game, but your brain doesn't necessarily know that. So it's registering all the shit as of actually happening. So that can...
you're going to have actual memories of this.
Yes, exactly. So you can have these sort of things now where it's, your brain doesn't know the difference between it was a fictional thing or not. And that can certainly, I'm guessing, wreak some havoc on a developing mind.
I think you're right.
Now, who knows? Who knows what the hell this kid had access to, what he was doing. And look, some people are just, they're born fucked up and they don't have a conscience and they do horrible things. Maybe that was this kid. Or maybe there was something else. We don't know the answer to that yet, though.
I imagine as school is starting and this kid was supposed to be in school and everybody is talking about this. I would imagine it's got to be the talk of the entire school district that, well, little Jimmy isn't here because he killed people. Well, how do you stomach that?
And the bigger question is, why the fuck did he have access to weapons?
That is the bigger question.
He's a kid. There are multiple adults in this situation, and somehow this kid still got access to handguns. That's on the fault of the adults that are around this kid. Maybe it's the ones who are even dead. But if you are allowing a child to get their hands on a weapon like that, that's on you.
Yeah, and you're not blaming the victims, but
no.
As a responsible gun owner, you need to have that stuff locked up and not accessible. And if a 11-year-old is accessing a loaded gun,
could have easily killed himself.
Got a problem.
Could have easily killed anything. He could have done anything. That's the thing. It shouldn't have ever even been a situation. That been allowed to occur. So horrible, but lots of questions there.
Let's be honest. Nothing kills the thrill of a good murder mystery like a commercial for laundry detergent. It's like someone slapping a closed sign on your favorite dive bar. But you're not here for that, are you? You're here for the good stuff. So ditch the ads and upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. With True Crime Today Premium Plus, you get your crime straight, no chaser. Commercial free with extended interviews and early access. It's like getting the bartender's special when the bar's already closed. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and drink it all in.